Hello everyone, welcome to Mind Garbage. My name is Eric Myers. This week I'm going to be talking to you about something that just happened over the week or two ago, was the Captain America Civil War trailer. First things first, trailer was awesome. When the first trailer originally came out, I think it was Thanksgiving last year, it was on like Jimmy Kimmel or whatever. I honestly wasn't very impressed by it. I love Marvel. Marvel, I think they make great movies, for what they do. And something was kind of like lacking in that trailer. This one though was just far better. Civil War excites me as a film because it's really the first time you're starting to see, superheroes in this world be held responsible for their actions. You think about everything that happened in the first Avengers and Winter Soldier with the thing crashing in DC, which they show in the trailer, and then stuff in Avengers 2 and all this other stuff that they even show to like other movies. I think there's a specific scene that shows in Thor 2 when he crashes that whole thing in London or wherever they were, and I enjoy that because in Marvel's universe for their movies, up until this point, they've just been getting off scot-free for everything that they've been doing. And what's interesting to me is you're starting to really see that, Captain America is against the whole registration, thing, or not. Can't remember if it's registration or how they're doing it at this time, where, they want the superheroes to be supervised. The government wants to be in control of it. And they've done a really awesome job, and they show it in this trailer, of Captain America's, distrust of the government. Really going all the way back into the Avengers, which is technically his second appearance in film, where they show that he finds those weapons that the Hydra weapons or Chitauri weapons, I can't remember, but from that point on, you have Winter Soldier, and then Avengers 2, he's becoming more and more untrusting with regards to his feelings towards the government. And that's something that's really awesome to me, is seeing Captain America's growth, Steve Rogers' growth specifically in this trailer. I assume it's going to be in the movie. And what I really like is, you see that growth of him getting where he does not trust the government. And there's a scene in the trailer that is probably my favorite scene in the whole thing, which is when it's showing him and Tony Stark fighting. And Tony Stark, puts his hand out like this, like he always does, and is like, I think he says stand down, final warning. And the best part to me is you see him, Captain America, Steve Rogers, just completely beaten and bloodied, and he just puts, his fist up and just kind of says, I can do this all day. Kind of like how he did in the first Captain America movie. And so that's such an awesome, that line is so awesome, to the fact that they drew back to that without making it, seem corny or ridiculous. And I really, really enjoy that. It's impressive to me that a lot of people are getting down on the roster of characters. There's not enough characters. I think that this works for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. To me, I'm much more, impressed with, I understand Civil War, it's going to be obviously different than the normal, comic storyline when you had everyone going against each other. But for this movie, for the actual overall universe of these movies, it makes sense to have these characters go against each other in a way that makes sense. It's also very interesting, you see, like I mentioned, the growth of Stephen Rogers' character. You see the growth of Tony Stark as Iron Man, where originally, he was the bad boy and didn't want to listen to the government and everything. And then in Avengers, he completely changes his ways because of, going through a trans-dimensional portal and, blowing up everything and then coming back. And, but in Iron Man 3, which a lot of people were down on, I actually thought was okay and pretty good. You see that this has completely changed him. And from then on, in Avengers 2, he trusts the government more. He does not want to be a superhero. He's trying to get it to where, he starts the Ultron project with, Dr. Banner to make it to where they don't have to do this anymore. And that's something that's really impressive to me, is that they've taken these characters that were, you had Captain America in the first movie you see him in. He is gung-ho about the government. He believes that the government can do no wrong. And then you have Tony Stark, who, like I said earlier, is the bad boy of the group. Very, the bad boy. I can't think of any other words. If you can think of something, you can comment below and tell me how stupid I am that I didn't think of it. But it's very cool to see those roles have switched. That now you see, Tony wanting to go along with this movement, and Steven not caring at all and going against it. And one thing that I really appreciate is, Bucky is in this movie, and the Winter Soldier. Spoilers if you haven't seen the Winter Soldier, which I don't know why you would do that if you haven't seen it, because such a good movie. Just watched it a few weeks ago. Really good. Bucky in this is so... You can tell that the stress of the life that he lived before it is really affecting him. And that's, to me, what I think is going to be special about Civil War that we haven't seen from any Marvel movie, is that you're finally seeing everything that these characters done have caught up to them, which is not something you've seen in any Marvel movie in the MCU to date. Really. Winter Soldier was the first one that kind of like showed off these characters and, made it to where it was like stuff bothered them, that kind of thing, which is awesome. I love character development and growth and seeing that. Even Iron Man 3, which I enjoyed, it was very focused on Tony, but it was in a different way. He had PTSD, I think is what it's post-traumatic stress. And it was awesome. Like, I liked seeing that, and I really like seeing these characters grow and develop. And really, to address the elephant in the room is the inclusion of the old webhead Spider-Man at the end of the trailer. Now, I think it was obvious, ever since they announced last year in, I think, February, that he was going to be in the movie. Or not in the movie, but they had acquired the rights to use him. I think it was obvious from the get-go that everyone knew, he's going to be in Civil War. So it wasn't a surprise for me to see him at the end of the trailer. But it was freaking awesome to just to see him, when he calls out, Tony's like, Laundry Bruce, and you just see the web come out. And to me, people didn't like the line or whatever that he said, hey guys, or whatever. And I personally, that was purely fan service to hear that line of this is Spider-Man in this world, you're seeing him. And to me, that line, not so much as the line, but just everything else, that whole scene was so awesome, because this is the first look of, this is a completely new character within the constraints of this universe, but we all know his origin story, and I think it's going to be really fun and interesting to see how they play with that. But that instance of his use made me kind of realize, this is almost Star Wars levels of excitement, where the trailer came out, I think, a couple weeks ago, and or last week, yeah, and I showed it to my dad. Was visiting with him, and he's a huge Spider-Man fan, like I am, and I showed him the trailer, and when we're getting towards the end, the title comes up, it says Captain America Civil War, and he's like, oh, that's cool, and he goes to put his phone, I'm like, no, you gotta wait, you gotta see. And as soon as he saw the web, I saw his eyes go up, and then he sees Spider-Man, and he just immediately got this big old smile on his face and started kind of giggling. It's like, that's cool, because this is such an extremely a cool thing to be able to see. And seeing Spider-Man in the MCU, obviously that suit is the thing that I really enjoy is that suit, it looks kind of pieced together. A lot of people are saying oh, it's probably made by Tony. The thing that I enjoy kind of looking about that suit is that if you really really examine it and look at it, it looks like it could have been pieced together, maybe. I think I've only saw one high-res photo of it, and, I can't really tell. I don't have the best eyesight, really. But, sorry. I was singing Motley Crue in my car. I have lost my voice. But, my hope for this, and really, is that there's feelings of you want to see an origin story, but you really don't. And my hope, honestly, we don't need an origin story this movie. I want to see Spider-Man being Spider-Man. And I think that is really important for them to do, because this movie is going to be really long, which is awesome. This is going to be the longest Marvel movie to date, and they're going to have plenty of time to focus on Spider-Man. We don't need another origin story. So Marvel, you have one shot at this. Don't screw up Spider-Man. Which they're not going to. They know they're not. We know you're not, guys. We know. But my excitement levels went from here to all the way up here. Out of frame. Maybe. I don't know. I don't have a cameraman. My cameraman is my computer. If you want me to lift the curtain or the veil off your eyes to where you can see what I do, which is very low tech and stupid. But thank you for watching. If you're excited for Captain America Civil War, you can tweet at me at EricMyers93. We can talk about it, and because I'm very excited about the movie, I would like to go back and forth. You can follow me on there and just hear the stupid stuff I say. Yeah. Go ahead and do that. If you want, you can follow this channel on Twitter at... Completely forgot the Twitter name. I'm sorry. 3_beersin. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it, subscribe to the channel, and share, and all that fun stuff. I'll see you guys later this week.